Hi, so as I'm sure you're aware, Gillette recently released a highly divisive video challenging toxic masculinity in society. It's really caught people's attention with many discussions and disagreements about whether masculinity can be toxic or whether it's something that should actually be defended. And it got me thinking about how there was a recent time between Gillette and Star Wars and whether Gillette and Star Wars are actually bad partners. The reason why is that in recent years there have been a number of articles and also videos which analyse the toxic masculinity within Star Wars, both the original 6 movies and the recent trilogy. I want to go in a bit more detail as to why Gillette and Star Wars may actually be bad partners based on the beliefs of Gillette. And I'm going to start with number 1. So there's a video on YouTube which really disagrees with George Lucas's concept of Yoda's beliefs, and almost the beliefs of the Jedi, where fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, and hate leads to suffering. The reason why he disagrees this is that he believes that men should express their feelings. They shouldn't hide away from their feelings. They should actually be brave and discuss them with other people. But what that shows is a real lack of understanding of masculinity, because it's actually the process that Kylo Ren is going through. Kylo Ren is going through the concept of where he has this fear, and it's leading to his anger. He's then hating other people, and the hate is forcing him to suffer. He doesn't want to hate other people, and he has this fear of his role in society. If he stopped fearing his role in society and found his own role in society, he wouldn't have this process, this 4-stage process of leading him to suffer. If he just took a less emotional process to his activities, he would find his role in society without him feeling the suffering. So that's one reason why there's this acceptance that toxic masculinity is all about hiding away emotions for men. It isn't. It's all about not giving in to your emotions and instead taking rational, logical decisions. Now, number 2 is where, again, he believes that a process of toxic masculinity is when men are not emotionally attached towards women, and that's often discussed in the prequel trilogy between Padme and Anakin, where Anakin is told not to be emotionally attached to Padme. But that is not what women want. Women don't want a man who is too emotionally attached. Women want a challenge. They want a man who is strong, who is like a mountain. They can't move his emotions. The man is in control of emotions. So the man isn't going through this process of fear, anger, hate and suffering. He doesn't have those emotions. That is what women are attracted to. So why is it toxic? Why is it deemed toxic masculinity for a man to share his emotions with women when women don't want it? That seems to be the message of some of the original Star Wars, where why would Anakin share his emotions with Padme when Padme doesn't really want that? She might tell Anakin she does, but deep down, most women don't want a man who's emotional. They don't want a man who is looking for support, emotional support. It's like the role of James Bond. James Bond is such a desirable man because he's strong. He makes decisions. He's decisive. He doesn't need emotional support from women. We'll then go into more recent Star Wars discussions where some people actually believe that Rey is being used as a puppet for Kylo Ren. So Kylo Ren is able to expose his masculinity at the expense of Rey, and that Rey should actually be a cushion for Kylo Ren. So Rey takes on this role of like a psychologist or someone who can help Kylo Ren emotionally. But again, women don't want that. Women don't want to be a psychologist or a listening board for men. They want men who can deal with their emotions. They're in control of their emotions. Women aren't attracted to men who complain about their life. Women are attracted to men who have a mission in life, who have a purpose in life. Their purpose is to go out and achieve something. Women aren't attracted to men who have this emotional bond. They are needy. That really turns women off. So if people believe that toxic masculinity is where men can't share their emotions, that's because women don't want that. There might be men out there who believe that men should share their emotions, but that's actually negative for men because women don't want that. If you take away masculinity from men, why would women be attracted to it? Even if you took toxic masculinity away, why many women don't want that? They want strong, decisive man who's in control of his emotions. There was discussion about the Holdo and Poe. Again, Poe making decisions, even being reckless like James Bond is. He's very attractive towards women. He's like this renegade, rebellious guy. And that is very attractive to women. So if you take that away from him, if you make him into a puppet who follows orders, who shares his emotions, that isn't what women want. Women want that masculinity of a rogue, someone who will take bold decisions, who doesn't follow orders. Again, you go back to James Bond. That's all the things he does. He ignores the rules. He'll make his own decision. Now finally, the point is that if you take away the masculinity of Star Wars, you would end up with these men, whether it's Luke Skywalker, Kylo Ren, or Poe, who aren't attractive towards women. They are men who are needy. They are men who share their emotions with women. There are men who can't control their emotions because they're constantly going through this fear. They fear everything, and that fear, they feel angry, they feel hatred, they suffer. Instead of overseeing their emotions and taking logical decisions, which is what the concept of a Jedi is, that is what's attractive to women. So the whole idea that there's this toxic masculinity within Star Wars, if there is, then Gillette and Star Wars shouldn't be working together, because it's actually the toxic masculinity that drives men like Kylo Ren or like Anakin or like Poe that's actually attractive towards women. If you take away their masculinity, even if it's an element of toxic masculinity, they're not attractive towards women. So why would you want to do that? Why would you want to make these men who are not attracted towards women? Now there might be people out there who believe that is what women actually want, but it isn't. Women want solid men who don't follow their emotions, don't follow this path. They cut themselves off at this element. They don't feel fear. That is what women want. So if Gillette feel that there's a level of toxic masculinity within Star Wars, then they shouldn't be working together.